Hey, so just wanted to walk you through the kind of the maintenance of the website, and certainly if you have any questions, let me know. But this should cover everything, kind of from the basics of kind of adding content, maintaining existing content, and moving forward. So on the homepage or anywhere on the site, you can go ahead and press escape wherever you want to log in. So even if you're, let's drill into the site. So if we're on this adult health page, for example, and you hit escape, you'll get the login and the password information there. So you just go ahead and click login, and then you would return back to the page you were just on. So I'll go ahead and return to the home page. You can either click on the logo or click home to get there. And if you switch over to content editing, which is the A, you will immediately see a whole bunch of editable content areas. So that's pretty much how things are going to work from the admin's perspective. You can set up other accounts on the site that don't have all this functionality, but they would have the available edit containers wherever you'd want those. So you could put someone in charge of like a news area, for example, and they wouldn't be able to make any other changes on the site. They would just be able to edit that content. But we can go ahead though and kind of go through. But any area that has this edit widget HTML, it just means you can click that, and then you can go in and there's editable areas. Some of these areas are built, or the functionality is a little more advanced, where you would have to get in and access the code. In areas like these, I mean, they're pretty much going to be preset where you won't really have to ever change them. But if you switch over, you'll be able to see that it's a little more advanced. There's some extra code in there to kind of do what's going on in there. But I guess a good example would be like the this slideshow area here. Actually, we'll jump into that last, because that I can show you how to do that. Like the bear here, you noticed his eyes. His eyes are actually made up from a separate container. That's how it has the animated blinking there. So like an area like this, I would suggest not editing, just because it's kind of already set up and everything. But the sidebar, you can certainly go through, and I guess if you're going to add pages, you would have to kind of remove a page. So because we're kind of maxed out on the height in there. But if you switch over to like a code view on this area, you'd be able to see kind of where everything links to. And again, this is kind of advanced. It is HTML code, not super advanced. If you're familiar with kind of identifying things and noticing like a pattern here, that each one of these are a list item, and there's a link, and then there's the text that would show up. So everything's been styled though, that if it's going to all work in here. You also notice when you're in content mode that things shift down. You see like other things like revealed, but if you hit preview, that's how it's going to appear to the outside world. So when you're in content mode, you see how things kind of bump down and look a little different, but it's just because of all these edit buttons have been revealed. So don't let those bug you. The only real area on the homepage that most likely you will make changes to would be this About Us container right here. And it's going to be pretty simple. Again, you go to the content mode, and then if you select Edit HTML, then basically this photo is actually aligned to the right, and this is in a particular what's known as a div, which is basically a container, and this container is sent to the right of everything. So if you got in here and you made changes just to this text here, and didn't, get rid of that, then you should be fine. And it should do what you're wanting to do there. The photo itself, as far as dimensions, I'll just right click it and say view image, and we see that it's 265 wide by 118 tall. So 265 by 118 is the current size of that image. So if you wanted to swap that out, let me go ahead and copy. So if you had another photo that you're going to use, here I'll just go ahead and flip this one horizontally just to use this as an example. And then, so let's see real quickly here. Oops. I'm going to say founder temp 2. So then we have an image. I guess you don't have to worry about what I just did there, but let's say you have the new founder photo and you're going to upload that. So what you can do, actually in this mode here, you should be able to, well, no, I think that might break it. Sorry. What you can do, now this may be a little more advanced, but this is as difficult as anything will be on the site. But I'll walk you through it. So what you'll do is you'll want to upload the image first. So if you go here to website management and then file storage, and then this is where all the kind of like the files on the site are being stored. I put a lot of stuff in the assets directory. It's just kind of like an area that I've been using. But I guess in this case, what we could do is go ahead and just upload here. And I'll say select files. And should be right here, founder temp 2. And I'm say upload. So then what I can do is right click on this image is usually an easier way. And I can say copy link location. So basically you just want to know where this path is, and you can either do what I did by right clicking it, or if you go ahead and click it while you're in here, it'll actually show you the total path. So you can go ahead and copy that. I'll just go back and go back again. Actually, you can hit escape from any page and it'll go back there. All right. So then our founder photo, if we come up here to edit, and then if we go to this code view by clicking HTML, there's the image right there. So if we get rid of that, and if we hit paste at this point, if you hit save now, it should be fine. It's kind of a good idea, though, to get rid of the URL and just start with storage like this. So you say /storage and then the image. That way, once we switch over the domain, everything is going to work the same exact way. It doesn't really matter on images as much. It's just kind of a good habit to get into, that any image or anything linked, you'll always want to kind of do a / and then storage and then where the thing is. So storage was that root directory that we were in just a second ago. And then you can hit save and close. And there's the photo of the left align photo that we created over here, and actually it was Adobe Fireworks. So but again, that image is 265 wide by 118 high. So you can do that. What I'll do is go ahead and switch it back. It doesn't really matter, but just to kind of show you how those things are done. So there's our previous image. Actually, it wasn't in that location, was it? It was somewhere else. So I'm just kind of showing you how things work in here. foundertemp.jpg. So it was in my assets directory. So I could say copy again, hit escape, hit edit, go to HTML, select the image, paste, and get rid of all that front stuff, but keep the slash. So we got /storage assets founder temp.jpg. And here we go for the right aligned version of that. And just to kind of show you that path again, if I hit enter. So basically it's the storage directory and then assets founder temp. All right. Then the footer area of the site, if you go to structure mode, again, there's probably not a whole lot you'll want to edit in there, but if you go to structure mode and then edit post canvas, this is where you need to kind of tread a little more gingerly, because this is all strictly code, and if you change anything in here, it'll kind of break things unless it's not working right or something. But that works. Then let's see what else. I think that's it, kind of for the home page. All the navigation. Okay, the sidebar area. So then the My Chart is linked. So if you click that, it'll open up a completely new window. Is how that's going to work. This menu is actually independent from this menu, but they have all the exact same content. It's just they just appear twice on the site. But then this menu is the same one for each of these pages. So when you click through, it's the same menu over and over and over. Then, as far as adding content to pages, so just from a general content perspective, each one of these other pages, so this would include any page minus the home page. They're all kind of built the same way. So if you go to content edit, you'll see this editable area here if you want to get in and change the content of that sidebar, but most likely you won't, so you can just kind of ignore that going forward. And again, this little shift happens when we go into content mode. But each page will have this edit page where you'll be able to change the page title and then the page content itself. If you're in here and you accidentally back out of this, this bolder content here I'll hit cancel there. You can hit cancel and it won't affect it. So just in case. Once you hit save though, there's no undo. So just FYI. So basically what happens here is this is known as an H2 heading. And actually, if you click anywhere in the content, you'll notice down here on the right side how it says P, that stands for paragraph. And then if I click into this, it says H2. It's really tiny. Additionally, you can jump over to this HTML view. Let me turn off spelling. There we go. So in the HTML view, you can see that this is an H2 heading, and then this is a paragraph. So that's pretty much how that's been built there. It's all generic content right now, but my point was if you get rid of this and you're editing the site, whatever, and you go ahead and hit save, registration questions is what it should say. Oh, and you'd be like, oops, we just messed that up. So then, you could place content back in, registration questions, and this is still a paragraph. So what we can do is then highlight this text and come up here to format, heading, and make that an H2. And then hit save and close. That will be saved. Pretty simple. Then any new content that you'd want to put in place, obviously you could just start typing. I have my dummy text content thing. There's that. If you want to do like let's do another heading here. Actually, this should. There we go. So if I put that there, then if I want to say heading 3, you might say something impactful there. You could say heading 3 on that. Heading 2 would be kind of the loudest quote unquote thing on the page. So when Google sees this, it's going to take into account the H2 is going to win over the paragraph certainly and the H3, but how it's going to read is, we would say registration questions and then the content that goes along with that, and then a heading 3 is also very important, and then you can go. You can keep adding a heading 4, heading 5 if you want. I usually don't go further than a heading 3 unless you want to keep kind of indenting. But if you consider that each page is like a built in outline form, then it makes the most sense. Where you might not even have another heading. You might just have the H2 and then your content and move on to the next page, and but as long as you kind of structure things that way, then your SEO and all your search capabilities will be great. So, and that's kind of an important thing. While we're on this page, let's go ahead and talk about uploading images. So if we go back to content mode, we can say edit page, and let's say on this page we want to add an image. And we want it to go kind of right below where the title is. Maybe that's a good place for it. So we just basically put our cursor right there at the beginning of the first block of text. Then what we do is go ahead and insert image. So if we mouse over that, it says insert image there. And then what we do now is upload the image. So it's on our computer. Where is it? It's on my desktop. So I'll go ahead and get that medicaldoctor.jpg, and I'm just going to go ahead and upload that. So now it's ready, it's browsed, and now you say upload file. And the image is huge at this point. What we might do is just go ahead and give it like an image width, let's say 150 pixels or whatever. That's probably okay. And then we can go ahead and say save close at that point, and then save close. So there's our image. We just uploaded this image of this physician, but maybe we want the text to be up here on the right. We want him to be on the left or something like that. So what we can do is say edit the page, and if we select the image without even going into it, you can actually play with it a little bit here on the alignment. So we can say we want it to align left, and when you do that, you can see that all the content will be on the right. So let's go ahead and save close and kind of check that out. Cool. That's kind of what we're wanting to do. I also have an effect on there so that when we align an image left or right, it'll put like a little drop shadow, just kind of a nicer little effect there. If we want to make that go to the right, and you can select it and say right. Save close. Does the same thing there. And let's say, the other thing I wanted to show you too is, let me go save close. This is a little more technical, but this is something to consider. If all of your images are coming off of a digital camera, for example, and like a modern digital camera, they have enormous, huge images. As far as file sizes. So when we uploaded this, we resized it to 150 wide. But if we go ahead and view the image, it's still really big. It's still 800 wide by 1200 high. So that means the file size on it would be kind of large. It's hard to tell without kind of saving it and everything like that. But So what's going to happen is when this page would load in, like if I refresh here, you might see it load in kind of really slowly. My connection isn't great, so everything might load in slowly, but it loaded a little faster than my example should have shown you. But so what's happening is that image is enormous. So we don't really want that. We'd want it to be as streamlined as possible. For those who are on a slower connection, they'd want to load the page and move on and not have to wait for this whole image to load in. So what we can do is, let's say we like this size, we like the 150 wide, and let's go ahead and move it back to the left. And then what we do is go to edit and resize. So there's our 150 that we already set it at. So we set it at 150 wide, but what we'd want to do is go ahead and click this resize original image. And what that'll do is it'll actually resample the image. So now it's been resized, resampled, save and close. Now it's probably a tiny file size. So then if I save close now, and if I do that preview view image, it's going to be 150 pixels wide. So it's going to be very, very small, and this is going to load in very quickly. If you want to do like a YouTube video, I guess I'm still kind of doing things here. Okay, so then let's say there's a video on YouTube you might want to put into place. With this image here, it might be difficult. So what we'll do is just go ahead and select this and say remove it, and it'll go ahead and remove that image. And then let's put right after the end of this line, let's go ahead and hit enter. And then what we can do is go ahead and insert video. And so again, we need to go out. Who knows what we're going to find, but here we go. A musician. Okay, fine. And then we can say share. So if there's any video, if you guys have your own videos that you might host by YouTube or Vimeo or other sources, then what you can do is click this share and then embed, and then probably this 560 will probably be a good width. So if we say 560, and then all you have to do is just copy that embed code. And then we'd go back to your site. And let me hit cancel here just to catch you back up. So we put the cursor where we want it, and then we click this insert video, and then we can say paste. So pretty easy. Save, close, and you won't see it here. Save, close here, and there's the video. So pretty simple stuff there. Hey, but by the way, if you see things appear like this, it's just only visible in the admin mode. It's just something that's kind of bleeding over from other pages or the layout that we're using. But pretty much you can see that now we have a video placed in. So then if we're like, okay, well, we don't want that. So then you can go back to here to content and edit the page. Select this block, and actually you can put your cursor after it and just delete it like that. When you do something like that, I always like to go back here and just make sure that there's nothing weird, but it looks all good. And then we'll hit save. So there we go. So same thing on all the pages. Then on like these adult health, women's health, child's health, all those, I can help you go through this, but basically it's going to be handled the same way. We can say edit page and be able to kind of see what's inside here. So what we've got is the page title, the content, and then this is an image that we inserted. And then basically each one of these photos are inserted and then aligned to the left. And then, we gave it a title, or name, title, and then the content, name, title, content, all the way down. So if 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 you need assistance when you get to these areas, then certainly I'll help you walk through those areas and instruct you more in detail on how to do those. Those are all the same as far as kind of what's expected in those, but each has their own title that's already in place. Meet your dental health, meet your mental health. Then, lastly, let's go over here to the news. Oh no, then we'll talk about the homepage slideshow area. But so the news area, this is actually using a Squarespace journal, or like a blog, if you will. And so it's kind of up to you if you want to remove comments, if they are more blog related, where it's a little more, I guess, not white paper kind of content. But if it's something that you might expect people would want to comment on or congratulate you on things or whatever, then I would suggest, keeping comments there. If they are specifically news releases, press clippings, things like that, then you might not want comments, and we can go back and remove those. I guess I could show you while we're in here. Each page has configuration that's accessible if you click structure, this blocks thing, and then go here to configure this page. A Squarespace journal has kind of the most flexibility as far as configuration. Also, it may seem a little more advanced, but really if you kind of understand what each one of these things means, then it's not that difficult, really. So when you scroll down here, you can see that here's the example post title, which appears over here to the left. There's the date, which appears right there. And if we scroll down, then the author and a separator, and then comments and a separator, and then share article, which is that right there. So if you don't want some of those things, like let's say we want to get rid of author, because it'll probably be the same author each time, then we can hit save page configuration, and author will be gone. So just waiting for it to load. There we go. So that's pretty much how that area is maintained. Again, configure this page, and then you'd scroll down, and you can bring more of these things up if you want. Like if you want to say share article, and maybe someone wants to print the article, then you can put that separator, and you can drag print. You can also select this, and then maybe let's just say print. And this, we could just change it to say share. Let's use this with the arrow. Oh, guess it didn't do it. Anyway. There we go. And then, yeah, should be cool. Then we go further down. These are all kind of the default settings, but if you want to manage the commenting, it's down here further. So you can set up so that any users can comment. You could make it so that comments are editor approved if you want to do that. By default, you can do it this way. There's the CAPTCHA code, which is basically, it says, retype these characters, and when you do that, then it kind of makes sure that you're a human, is how that works. But we'll just say save page, and now this should say share and print there. So, if you want that sort of functionality there, it's all set up. I'm going to change this really quickly. There we go. Looks a little better. I took that pipe out of there, that vertical line. Now we just have icons. All right. So this right here it's set up in the title area. So again, in structure mode, and this is really the only area like this, structure, and then modify page header. What we did is we just basically set this news, made that an H3, and we just said, let's just give it a title, is all we did there. You can certainly add other things to each of those, but now if you would go to like another news entry, whatever, this will always remain at the top of the page. So it's going to act like a page title. And, well, I guess, oh yes, let's go back to the home page then. And, oh yeah, so Dr. Bearston, he's got his own page as well, and he's got a different font, but it's also editable the same way. So if you say content and edit, everything's set up for you already. So the word meet is set at 50%, and then we put a break and then the name. So it basically says meet Dr. Bearston. And then the paragraph text here is what you'd want to change out. So if you switch over here, you can kind of see it says real tiny meat. But then you can change all this content. You can upload images, do whatever you want. If you want to have downloads, you can upload PDFs and go that route as well. But this is all just content. It's all fixed and ready to go. It's just all set up with that particular font. And again, his blinky eyes. Wait for it. There they go. So that happens every, 20 seconds or so. And that's just its own little image, which is kind of fun. So there's that, and trying to think, besides the homepage slideshow. So let me show you how the slideshow works. I'm going to have to find another photo, I think, just to give you the best example. But each one of these photos are 652 by 398. All right, so I have an image on the computer that I just saved that's that exact same size. What we'll do, this is a little different than kind of what I just showed you, but all the pages on the site are under website management and then architecture. So this is kind of behind the scenes of the actual site. So these are all the pages across the top of the navigation that appear, that you could actually click into all these, and you can go to those actual pages from within this section. And this is called architecture. This is the architecture section. And obviously this is only the admin is the only person who can see this stuff. And then I made a section here for hidden pages, and your hidden pages are actually also what would appear in this sidebar. So here's the registration questions page, and that is stored in this hidden section. It just means there's no real kind of navigation for it built in, which is this stuff up here. Along with this, I have a homepage slideshow, and I'll actually drag it to the bottom here. So we got homepage slideshow. If you click into there, then you can see these images are here. And this is actually a Squarespace slideshow is what this is. So, but what we want to do is basically what we want to do is upload the images to this area, and then what we'll do is, and then the next step is I'll show you how to kind of work with those images. But so you'll always want to go to website management, architecture, and then scroll down here to homepage slideshow that I have set up. And then if you go to content, then you can say upload new pictures. Select files. And I created a new image here on the desktop. I called it Fake Waiting Room. And I'll go ahead and just upload that. There we go. So it will, I guess it's right there. So if you click it, well, go to preview mode. It still says thumbnail processing, which is weird. Anyway, there's the fake waiting room that I just uploaded. So, this should come to life here. I don't know why it still says that. There it is. Okay, so now we've got the image loaded in to the slideshow area. But then what we need to do is let's go back to the home page. And if we go to content edit mode and then edit HTML widget, we see this, which is it's this icon here, which is basically the slideshow. So if you double click it, then it's saying, oh, okay, insert gallery slideshow. So we were just on a gallery, so we're uploading those images. And currently there are 8 images in that gallery. That's what that 8 means. But we've only loaded 7 because we just uploaded number 8. So what we'll do is crank that up to 8. And we can even go down here to advanced. And we can say, well, let's go ahead and put that waiting room up higher, or not higher, but it would load. Let's say it's going to load first. Let's have it load second. And then we just say save close, and save and close. And there's our first image. Our second image should be the waiting room. There it is. There's our new fake waiting room image. And if we come back here to content edit and double click that icon, we can come here to advanced. And let's say we don't want to show it then. So what we could do is go ahead and click like that, save and close, save and close, and it should be ignored now. Yep, we just ignored it. So then we can go back here to website management, architecture, homepage slideshow, and I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. So I could say remove, confirm. And we'll go back to home. And let's just go back and make sure that everything's cool. So let's go to edit again, double click it again. 7 and 7. Looks like we're in good shape. You shouldn't have to do this, but I'm just checking things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So yeah, and you can move these around as well. I mean, if you want, right now it says slide 1 is there to whatever. So they're going to load in to the order that you have them presented here. And I'll just say save close, save close. So that's all there is to that. Should be pretty painless to add, new content and things in there. If certainly if you have any questions, give us a call, give us a shout, and we'll help you through it. Thanks a lot.